Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is a Giro. It's a Tier 6 Japanese tank destroyer. It's located on the northeast spawn of Arctic region, otherwise known as Mannerheim Line, and this one is under the command of Deathnub. Okay, well this tank destroyer comes with either two guns, either the 75mm stock or the 105mm main gun, the top gun. And you can see here that, yes, Deathnub's managed to get the 105, capable of 300 alpha, 175mm a pin, and that's with standard ammo. With the premium rounds, it's 220mm a pen. Now he's decided to take it up the little area we know as either the cat or the mouse, depending on your point of view. And he's going to try and shoot at the enemy as they go past the passes, or if they go out into the open. Somebody saw him and they fired at him already. A round hit the ground. In fact, there's a Juno over there. Unfortunately, he's not going to get a shot at that guy though. I think there's somebody dialed in on this position, so he might start receiving fire very shortly. We've already lost 2 tanks on our team. Okay, there might be somebody over in that bush. Now, you only get 40 rounds with this tank destroyer, so you have to make the best use of them, because if you blast away at bushes, you might run short of ammo. Of all of the tank destroyers that actually come into the game, the Giro's actually had some pretty good results. And people actually do like this tank destroyer because with the 105mm gun, it does have such a high alpha. The standard reload is 8.63 seconds. You can see that we've managed to get, Deathnub's managed to get it down to 7.4. Good shot, got a shot on target, got hit in the tracks. Now it is on the bigger side of tank destroyer. In fact, the Japanese mostly had armoured vehicles which were fairly light in weight, and the main reason for that was that they didn't get a whole lot of steel given to them, because of course most of the steel went to the Japanese Navy, and the Japanese Navy was not fond of the Japanese Army, and the reverse was also true. So during the war, most of the good steel actually went to the Japanese Navy. All the bad stuff went to the Japanese Army, and they were forced to rely on, well, some fairly lightweight armoured vehicles. A lot of Japanese tanks were actual derivations of First World War tanks, or tanks that were built in the intervening years. This one actually is derived from the Rogo, the Type 95 Rogo, which was actually a modification started development in 1940. The Rogo never got put into production, so this vehicle didn't actually go into production either. And what it's got mounted on it is a 105mm Type 92 field gun. So it's actually an artillery piece that's been purposed to use for tank destroyer. Oh, he can be spotted, but he did get seen, but he managed to put down that VK3002M. Now, there's no Arty, so he doesn't have to worry about a shell coming down suddenly. But you can see there's a chappy, a super chappy, managed to make it across the middle there. No, he fired prematurely there. Should have waited until it fully dialed in before he shot. I think he was worried that the super chappy was going to suddenly disappear from sight. And in fact, now we've got a T-3485M who's directly to the west of us. And we might be able to get a shot on him. No, he's pulling back. The ground does fall away just after that rise. And it looks like he's going around the rock to come up the other side. But he's going to meet a T-3485 of our own team just around there. And this Porlack probably can't see us, but even so he can't see us, he certainly managed to bounce around. I got him this time. Now, the bad news is that the enemy did kill our T-3485 round the other side, and he could be headed back round this side to attack us. He obviously knows somebody killed the Porlac tank. We're down, way down on the enemy at the moment. 4 tanks down. In fact, there's only 4 tanks left on our team altogether, which makes this a very difficult prospect. In fact, the T-3485M, instead of coming around and attacking us, it's actually decided to just drive straight in around the other side. And can we get a shot? Well, it ricocheted off the roof, and it did distract him, but we did get spotted, and that's the bad news. There are a couple of tanks coming through the pass, and we've also got an enemy Juno just across the way from us. That's another Japanese heavy tank. Okay, might be able to get a shot on that baguette. Yes, straight through the turret. An average roll, 300. It's probably wise for him to pull back every shot, because that set of bushes there is not exactly in the best position for him to be able to stay up and engage the enemy. Plus, of course, he does need to reload. One went through the side of the turret, 321. That's a high roll. So he's certainly getting some damage. He's keeping the enemy from actually coming up from the south. In fact, now all our team has to worry about is the T-78 and the M4A1 FL10 who are coming around from the west. But they seem to have gone rather quiet, and that might be... Oh, look at that! The Juno went all the way around. Instead of actually coming up directly towards us and taking fire, he's actually decided to go around the rock, which is what the T-3485M did. So it looks like the enemy does not want to come up this side. Okay, there's the Type 64. We can barely see him. Could he see us? I don't think so. I think we're actually still... Oh! Almost out of the bushes. Oh, no, it wasn't timed well, that one. So 3 left on our team now. Does get 1 round into the baguette. And we did get spotted. He's staying up, which is dangerous. But he did get another pen, a low roll. Baguette's still in the game, though. And, ow, that hurt. That's the 75mm. The Type 64 almost flipped over there. Down to 2 on our team now. Of course, it's the IKV and, of course, the Giro. Deathnub. And they're starting to bunch up. Go for the Dickermax. Yes, nice hit. High roll for 327. We are being spotted, though. There's nobody to the south of us. There's only 4 enemy tanks now, and 2 of them are directly to the north. There's one of them. In fact, they're now massing around that IKV. And there goes the Type 64. One nice shot. The IKV is desperately trying to escape. Can we get a shot at this? Yes, there goes the Dickermax. Unfortunately, there goes the IKV as well. Now it's 1-on-1 with this T-78. He gets 1 hit in. Remember, that's a 90mm gun on the T-78, but it's on the hull of a Chappie, which in some ways actually does handicap it. But no, this is probably not the best thing to do. You're down to 4 hit points. You can't afford to... he needs to get closer to the enemy, yes. But he can't afford to take a hit. There he is. Oh, he gets him! Oh, that was taking a risk, but it worked. And he won the game. Well, that was an incredible risk by Deathnub, but it paid off in spades because he actually got his first ace tanker in that game. Yep, he got the M, and it's the first time if you've got the scrolls underneath. So congratulations to Deathnub for getting that win in the Giro. He was the last one alive after being for so long. They kept losing teammates, and the enemy kept on outnumbering them until finally he got that T-78. And that one big good shot that he got on the T-78 managed to reduce him to a one shot. But I think he did need to get closer. I would have stayed behind the bushes, though, so that the T-78 couldn't work out where he was. And then, obviously, he could get the kill. But he also got his first mark of excellence in that game. So well done on getting high on the standard to get the first mark, the 65% mark. So he also got a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He actually ended up with 5, one short of getting a top gun, 1/3 of the enemy team. And he got a duelist for taking down 2 tanks who damaged him, 5 for effect for doing more damage than the hit points to his own vehicle. And he got the high caliber as well for dealing the most damage in that game. His win 8 was 9,209, which is super unicum and quite a bit more. Let's have a look at team score. Well, look at that, 3,163 hit points of damage, beating the Deathnub on the enemy team, who got 2,748. That's one of the new tanks as well, but the new Japanese heavy tanks, not the new Japanese tank destroyers. When it came to third place, that went to the OI on the enemy team. You can see he actually managed to punch a shell straight through the turret of an OI, no problem. 105mm, more than capable of puncturing the OI heavy. And when it came to kills, we can see he got the highest number of those, 5. 3 kills went to the IKB-65-2, who hung on as long as he could, as well as the Cromwell on his team and the Deathnub on the enemy team. And when it came to base XP, he got that one too. So he's got the top in all 3 columns. He's the only player to get over 1,000 base. He got 1,367. The next highest being the Deathnub on the enemy team with 738, followed by the M4A1 FL10 on his own team with 711. Wow, let's have a look at detail. 19 shots fired. Remember, I did say at the start of the game, you only get 40 rounds of ammunition. Surprisingly, he won this battle on less than half of the ammunition that he actually had. He got 14 direct hits on the enemy, 12 penetrations, and 3,163 hit points of damage, of which 942 were at more than 300 meters. He did receive 5 hits from the enemy, but only 4 of them penetrated, 1 non-penetration that hit the tracks. He also damaged 8 of the enemy, killed 5 of them, and did 669 hit points of damage assistance. I think some of that was spotting. On a premium count, he actually made 40,963 credits from the game, and he got 14,356 experience points out of it because he did get a mission completion of 12,306. That's a huge amount. So that's going to see a big jump in his skills on his crew. But yes, it was a case of catch up all the way throughout. They were down on the enemy. The enemy were doing very, very well. And it was only towards the end that Deathnub's position was really paying off because nobody could come and attack from the south. If they tried, they actually got wiped out. And if they tried to go around, then it was the other guys who had to try and stop the assault. And they were losing guys. But thanks to Deathnub's shots across the cap area, he was able to decimate them, eventually get them down to an equal amount. And of course, that last shot on the T-78, bit of a snap. It was a bit of a snap. In fact, it didn't even look as if he actually was aiming at the spot. But apparently the gun did swing in the direction of the T-78. And I reckon it overswung, because it does that sometimes. And you know that on from playing tank destroyers or any tank for that matter. If you aim at a particular spot on a bit of a snap, the gun will move rather rapidly to the left or to the right. And then it kind of overswings or goes over the point at which you actually wanted for the aim. And then it comes back to the aim point just slightly after. And I think what he did is he fired just as it was going over the amount of the actual point that he aimed, and that went straight into the T-78 and wiped him out. So a lucky shot at the end, but it was a good one. And of course, he did win the game for his team. Hope you enjoyed that replay. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.